Let me see if now I'm live again in YouTube as well. Holy moly. Yes, now I'm live again. Okay, for some reason I was speaking with myself, so I was definitely speaking with myself. I was live in Twitch, but I was not live anymore on YouTube because the line went down. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Okay, I'm live again. I'm live again also on YouTube. Yeah, the connection went down before, and when it went down, I restarted, but unfortunately it restarted only on Twitch. It didn't restart on YouTube. So I was actually offline in the last 10 minutes on YouTube. I don't know why, but I was speaking with you. But I wanted to say hello, Abdini. How are you? Happy New Year. So the point is that we need to keep the naming convention of this thing absolutely correct. If we don't keep it correct, it will not work. So we need to decide if you want to do it like this, so base, chainmail, ladder, plate, robe, whatever, or we want to do it, I mean, to me it's fine to have all the texture together and then have only the material split. I mean, whatever we want, but I need this to be done one way and not in 10 different ways. Because otherwise we will not be able to. But I need Sway. Sway, where are you? Sway, come to me. I summon you. You have to go? Okay. We can speak later, but I need to decide this thing. And the stream is back, by the way. It's better if I explain it to you by voice. No, let's do by voice. So, okay, so just to test that it works, we will just force it, okay? We will just force it for a second. So we need to be sure. This cannot be cran, by the way. It has to be dollar race everywhere. So it has to be dollar race. Otherwise, it will not work, obviously. And now it's searching this under textures. I don't know if textures is really the best place. Ah! I deleted it. Okay. Okay, so it will search it under dollar race. So whatever is dollar race, it will substitute, and then textures, and then the freaking chainmail or whatever it is. Okay. So yes, I need to close this because it's not gonna work. Need to close the server as well. I need to retry, save, blah blah blah. Okay. So now we want to have the same structure for the two characters. So cran, texture, these are all the files. Okay, nice. And then for the stone breaker, we will do stone breaker textures, and we will put the materials there. So I want this chainmail and this chainmail to actually be here. And then we will move it later, okay? We will decide, together with Zwei, we will decide one structure, and we will use that structure. Okay, we did it. We have some issue with the sockets of this character as well, so maybe while we are here we can also fix it. Actually the beard is there. You see the beard is there. Why was not shown? Yeah, the beard is here. For some reason, I think in our animation blueprint we are not putting it together. Could be. Let me see. No, it's not in the animation blueprint. It's in the actual character blueprint. Yes. Yeah, actually the bird is in the directory, but is not loaded into the character. So let's do it now. Now the bird should be. So here I need to add a new mesh. I need to add a new skeletal mesh, and the skeletal mesh will be called mesh bird, and we can search for our bird just to be sure that we select the right one, but yeah, I think it's this one. Skeletal mesh stone ember was 01. Yes, exactly. And now what we need to do in the construction, we need to add this and connect it to this, and in theory now it should show up. Yes, in fact it shows up. Now he has a beard. Nice! Okay, it was just a matter that he was missing that. Do we need to set the beard as the... Yeah, I think we need to. We need to have the beard as well in our list. We created the list, but we missed the beard. Where is that? I don't remember. Is in set material body part? Yes, is here. Body part. IDs are coded. So 9 is wings and 10. 9 is wings and 10 will be beard. Okay. So we actually need 10 of those, and we need a new body part here, which is a skeletal mesh component. So we're going to duplicate this one, call it mesh beard, and what? I don't know. Now we just take this, and in case is number 10, in case is number 10, so target, okay, material number 10, why connected like this? Material, okay. I think this should be fine. So here it should be fine. We added the possibility to customize the beard as well. We just need to be sure that now we are setting it here. So there should be a set beard, which is body parts. Yes. And this one should go here. Okay. Wow. Okay, we did it. We did it, boys. We did it. Okay. Is everything working on the stream? Because sometimes I see that it's going back and forth, but okay, it should be working. Okay, so now we have our character. And now we have our character working okay. I want to change the chainmail, right? So that was the point. That was the point. I want to save, and I want to change the chainmail. So if I start it now, let's see if, and I wanted to change also the sockets. Yes, let's fix also the sockets before, okay? Because the sockets are not okay on this character, so it's better if we fix it. So Stonebreaker Man, there it is. It's always better to use a weapon that is not symmetric, otherwise this thing is not working. So let's add a falcon as usual. You see, it's the opposite way. You see it? It looked like okay because it was the symmetrical weapon, but if we take a non-symmetrical weapon, you see that it's not correct. Now we don't want to be super precise here because we're gonna change it anyway in the future, but just to make it look nice, well, just to make it look okay, maybe not very nice, but okay. So let's put it like this and like this, and maybe a bit rotation top, and I think it's fine. Okay, like this is okay. Then we want to do also the other one, so the left hand, and we will always attach the falcon, which is non-symmetrical. Wow, it is completely fucked up. Okay, it is really bad. We fix it. What is going on? Why is it rotating on such a weird pivot? Okay. Okay. Maybe not perfect, but let's say good enough. Good enough. Okay, so we did that as well. The helm. The helm. There is a problem with the helm. Let's attach the most annoying one, which is the one that is more complex. Yes, the helm has a very weird scale in this character. It seems that the head is scaled up somehow, because with the normal size of the helm we are not reaching the volume we want. Wow, not even with 1.2. I think we have to go like 1.5 or something. Maybe this is too much. I don't know, I don't know if it's too much. I think it's kind of... Okay. I think it's fine as it is. The hair will be removed when he's wearing the helm, so it should be fine like this. Okay. Okay, at least it's a bit better. Okay, we look less silly than he was looking at the moment. So okay, nice. So now let's now we fix the sockets. Let's launch it and see. Hello, Sway. You're back. Like you can listen and look. Okay, so I have a problem with the location of the files because our engine has a bit of a trick to search textures, and so if you see, I don't know if it's too small, but I can maybe copy paste it. What it's doing is searching for a specific name. Let me put it here. So it's searching something like this, right? So this is the way to customize the materials for the different characters, right? And $race, this thing, is the one that gets substituted automatically by the engine based on each of the races. So if it's a Cran, you will have Cran there. If it's a Stonebreaker male, it will be Stone B male, etc. Right? The point is that all the rest has to stay exactly as it is, right? So we cannot change it. So the problem is that this part is okay. The one that is not okay is this one. So at the moment, I've seen that the materials are a bit all over the place. So sometimes, so we need to decide how to do it. Okay, so we need to decide what is the structure that we want, because if I go, for example, in the Stonebreaker male, I see material and texture, right? Material and texture, but by the way, didn't I just move the thing is here? Why is not? Okay, anyway, material and texture. Then if I go on the Noltri ref, for example, I have material and texture, but for some reason material is split into base, chainmail, leather. So this is not working for me. So we need to have one convention only. So one way or the other. Whatever you want, for me is fine. But it has to be always the same for all the characters, because if the directory changes, I cannot dynamically load the materials. I need this to stay in this. Like for the Cran is even different. So the materials are here. Some of the materials, you see, some of the materials are inside texture, and it is the one that we are searching at the moment. For example, right? We are searching this one. But it's not okay. So which one you want? Tell me which one. Tell me which one you want, and I will do it. No need to split, meaning that we can keep under material all the materials. So base, chainmail, leather, plate, and robe. So all this stuff will go inside material. I mean, as you would tell me one, and I will do it. By the way, I moved it in the wrong place. Keep all in the same material folder. Okay, perfect. So we will go. So all the materials will go in materials. Okay. And by the way, I messed up copying it because I should have put it in Stone B. I have to move it again. And by the way, I found the beard of the Stonebreaker, so I added it to him. Okay, so now he has the beard. The beard was actually imported, was just not connected to the blueprint. So now I connected it to the blueprint, and it's fine. Okay, so all the material will be under material, and all the texture under texture. So all these ones, I can move them. I will move them now. So I will move this here. Yes, I have to check out stuff. It's a bit of a for us is no change, but for the engine is a big change. So we are moving all this stuff, and so we are moving also all the references to it, and so it's for him moving this is a big diff. He has to change it in Subversion, he has to change it in all the references of the mesh, he has to change it on the blueprint. So you see, he's doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes for us to actually move all these materials. Because you know, when you remember that I stopped working on the character when you were starting to standardize them, and actually today I started to test again the stuff, and yes, it was. I mean, I restarted where I left, you know, which was kind of long time ago. But now with the character having the same structure, I think it will work very well. So we could really test the fact that our code is parametric and is loading the armor properly for each character, and is loading the animations and everything else. So I think that we are very close to see, you know, the result of your work on this. Chainmail is missing on the Null3 ref. I don't know why. Maybe because we didn't have the sources, the original, but I think probably at this point we don't have them. Okay, so I moved all of this to materials, and I will try to do the same for every other character if I found it. Okay, so if I find some inconsistency, I will just move them. And I will delete base, chain, ladder, plate, and rope. Okay. Can I delete this from here? What is doing? Why is doing this check? No. What is doing? It's empty. This thing is empty. So why is trying to delete a bunch of other stuff? I don't understand. What the hell? I don't know. What the fuck? What is? Do I have a filter on? Why there is stuff in this folder, but in reality there is not? Like if I go under Null3ref base, I see a bunch of other stuff here, like T-arm, TI. What is all of this? Is it actually in this folder in SVN, or is it just my copy, my bad copy of it? No, it's actually in SVN. It's something you checked in the 17th of October, right? But I don't know what is this stuff. I don't know what is this stuff. This stuff is not seen by Unreal. Maybe it's something that it was an older version of it. because all these files are like 2K in size. No, pretty much the same as the one above anyway. But it's only in base, because in the other folders, no, also in the other folder, like also in plate and robe, also in robe there are like, it looks like they are textures. Looks like they are textures, like there is a T-rob D, T-rob N, T-rob RAM. So it seems that it's like diffuse, normal. Do you have any idea what is this? The problem is that I don't see them. But for example, null 3 robe, D, N, and RAM I have properly in I properly have in the texture folder, right? So in the texture folder we can see that stuff properly. I hope. Yes, the robe is here. Robe, yeah, robe texture is here. So I don't know. It seems like leftovers. I don't know what they are, but it seems like they are like leftover that directory. So I think you should check it. Okay, so let me close this and save all and just do a checking. Okay, otherwise I get confused. I have the game open. I don't know why the Lavar character, it says that it's changed, but Lavar character is not changed. I didn't touch it, I think. Okay, so now I'm out of that. I think I did a lot of changes, so I will commit what I did, because I really did a lot of changes and I don't want to keep it for too long. So commit. So I changed most of the characters. Then I moved these materials. Then these are the maps I deleted, but it's okay. Okay. So added. So what we did, we added mesh variables on character blueprint to hold generic name to hold meshes of each race. Update initialization of mesh variables to each race. Then I fixed the stone BM beard, and I moved null tree textures, no, materials to material folder. Okay, this is what I did. I think we can check it in, and then we can move from there. We still have a lot of changes to do, but I don't want to do it all in one shot. Otherwise, you know, maybe we mess up. So I want to do it in pieces, in small steps. Okay, let's launch the editor again. Okay, let's launch the editor again. Now, hello Sand, how are you? I saw you were playing Atlas. How is Atlas? They are speaking badly of it. There are so many bad reviews, but I don't know. Maybe that's just the people hating on it. But maybe it's I don't know. Maybe it's a nice game. So okay, so now what we want to do, we want to ensure that I think this stuff we can close. We want to ensure that the directory where it's searching for the text for the parametric textures is correct. So actually all those are materials, so they should be material. Should be material everywhere, okay? So it was texture just because for the crane it was there originally. Okay, fine. Fine, but all of this should be under materials, okay? And we will do the same for all the races. So let me see if now is correct. Nolter we have here. I want to check the stone B. Yes, the stone B now has this two chainmail stuff here. Okay. And I want to check obviously the crane, which is our base model. And you see that here we did a bit of a mistake. So all the materials, I will move them to the other directory. So it's compatible with our new decision, okay? So now, if I load in from, so now if I load in again in game and I use the Stonebreaker character, okay, yeah, apart from the fact that it's flying like Harry Potter again, but it's okay. And now, I think it's recompiling shaders, no? No, he assigned it empty? Fuck it. I think he assigned it empty, you see, because it's like checkerboard, so it's like it's not, didn't assign, it didn't assign the texture properly. Let me see if it gives the message. Yes, can't find file. Okay, let's see what he's trying to find. Okay, he's trying to find game characters stone BM. So game character stone BM. Yes. Well, the case, I don't know if the uppercase lowercase makes any difference. Stone BM, then he's searching material, which actually we have, and then he's searching stone BM and chainmail. Stone BM, no, hand we don't have. We have, no, hand we don't have, because we didn't do it yet. But we have the torso and the arms. In fact, for torso and arms, it seems they didn't give any error. Equipping mesh potion, potion 01B. What the fuck is this? He has a potion in his hand. No. Don't understand what he's trying to do. I mean, these ones are okay, but we don't have them yet. We can create them, but the one where I was expecting the error is not there, so it seems that it's kind of working for the other ones, but it's not showing. Why is not showing? Why is showing like this as a checkerboard? It's very weird. It shows like a checkerboard instead of showing the right texture. And the shield seems to be upside down for some reason. Why the shield is upside down, by the way? It seems that our still something is wrong, eh? For sure. Why the shield is bad? The socket here seems to be okay. Right hand, left hand. Rotation scale. I have no idea why the shield is bad. I have no idea why the shield is not showing like 90 degrees, like 180 degrees rotated. What the hell is going on? There are some problems with the shield, that's true. Like the... Okay, anyway, apart from the shield, we will find out. There is some problem with the socket, but the armor is weird that it doesn't show up. Let's try to put the other ones and see if putting the other ones, I mean all the character is like the same. Let's put the other one in. In particular, we can create a texture. So let's see first of all if this material is correct. Okay, if I open the material, do I see it? Yeah, I see it. Yeah, I see it properly. I remember there was a setting for skeletal meshes. What was the thingy? Oh my god, I remember there was a setting on the materials. Was it here? No, I don't remember. There was something related to skeletal meshes. There it is. Used with skeletal mesh. Indicates that the material and its instance can be used with skeletal mesh. This is resulting in shader required to support skeletal mesh being compiled, which is in case the blah blah blah. Okay, it's this thing that you have to flag. If you don't flag it, it will not show up. Wow, it's insane. I remembered it. But yeah, so the problem is, I think that we didn't click on this thing. Did this message I don't understand. So I'm saving arm chainmail. Okay, I'm saving stone B arm chainmail. It's not giving me the message anymore. And it gave me a message like saying, do you want to apply this change also to the original material? And then the name that it says is exactly the same one. So it's a bit weird. Okay, but we did it. So let's do it also on the other ones. On the other one, so this chainmail here, this skeletal thingy. Because I think if it's used on skeletal meshes, it needs to apply additional shaders, and so the material becomes more heavy. That's why it's asking this. And for us, it's pretty much the same, but okay. So you think it relates to instances? Okay. Actually, we have the plate of this character. Is the plate something that we have set up in the blueprint? Good question. Good question. No. It's not in the available meshes, so we will add it now. So we will add a new skeletal mesh, and we will call it mesh torso plate. And can you please call it mesh torso plate? Mesh torso plate is in use by another variable or function. Well, okay. Mesh torso plate is used by another variable or function. Well, yes, actually it is. Is the one I have on the parent. Yes. Okay, so it cannot be called the same. Makes sense. It cannot be called the same. Yeah, makes sense. Okay. Then in the constructions, then first of all I need to associate it to something. So this mesh torso plate will be connected to stone BM. It's better if I type it, otherwise I will select stone BM underscore torso plate. Okay. He has to use the animation blueprint. Yes, and he has to use stone BM animation blueprint. Okay, now it goes together with the character, but we don't want this plate to be shown, so we will make it invisible as a default, right? So it will be like this. Okay, so it will be loaded into the character but not visible. Now in the construction script, I want to connect this torso plate with my torso plate. Okay, so I will have it as a reference later on in case I want to update or equip. I want to equip it. which that is another piece of stuff that we need to do. I will change the name of the stream, by the way, because we did something completely different to what I was planning. I mean, this is a prerequisite to improving the character creation, but it's not the character creation. It's not. So we changed the name. Okay. Now that we did that, what should we do? We want to see if it works, right? Should we do it for all the other body parts so it's done? Because I think it would work now. I think that the problem was just the skeletal thingy. So let's do it just for all the body parts. So I did arm and torso. Let's do chainmail. Is there an easy way to filter? Yes. Let's do legs, hands, and foot. Okay, so for these three, I want to create materials. Boom. Does it automatically for me. Very nice. I select them and I move them to materials. And then the only thing I need to do is to click on skeletal. So for this, and this, cannot do it. No, I have to do it one by one. I go and I click on use with skeletal mesh. So we did it on the foot. We do it on the hand. Luckily, it's very easy to see if it's something messed up because you will not see the texture in game. So it's pretty easy to find out if something went wrong. So I do it with the hand and I do it with the legs. Okay. Okay. Save this. And let's go. Okay. Let's try to run it. Hello, see someone joined now. Welcome to the stream. There are some people from US watching, so when I stream like early afternoon my time, they cannot see me because it will be like 7 a.m. their time or so. There is more people joining in the evening. Okay, so if we select this guy, by the way, I think the graphics overall are nicer in Unreal. I mean, whenever I see these characters with the lights that they have and the shading that they have, I mean, just the fact that they are in Unreal, they look better. I don't know, but they look better. Okay, seems we already achieved some results because this character properly has. It looks pretty cool, by the way. I like him. Properly has the boots, yes, the legs, the torso, the arms, and the gloves. So all the pieces are properly skinned, right? So it means that the dynamic thingy is working okay. So if we set up the characters the same, all the characters the same way, it will automatically work on all of them. Why the shield is rotated wrong, I have no idea. It's very weird. Because actually the shield should be rotated 90 degrees. Which it is, but let me see if I swap it with the on the other end. Let me see if I swap it on the other end. Wait. On this end is correct, so it seems that the problem is with that socket, with the left socket. There is something in the left socket which is not working as expected. Can you believe that this texture has like 10 years? Or maybe 15 years? And they still look nice? That's insane. Okay, also the model, by the way. Well, the model shows his age for sure, but it's not that bad. I mean, if you look at it, it's not that bad, considering it's been done like 18 years ago, or 15 years ago, I don't even know how much. Nice. Okay, this thing is working. So this means that this system is okay. Now, what we will have to do, we will have to test it on all the characters, which is a bit annoying, but maybe I can do that offline. But let's say this setup is working okay, and the keep of an item based on this stuff that I made is working okay. So we can go back maybe to what we were doing. Because I started all of this mess because I wanted to be sure that the character were actually properly loading the items at startup, right? And to do that I needed to have one character with a lot of stuff on it. Okay, so let's go there. Now, one character is loading okay. The problem is that during the character creation, when you select the character, it shows as a basic guy and not as the guy with all the items that he has equipped. And this is not what we want, so we want him to show all the pieces needed. So to do that, I think we need to request the equipment to the server when we click on the character, because at the moment I think that we are just loading the race. It's exactly this blueprint which I was looking at before. At the beginning of our stream I was looking at this, and what this is doing is very stupid. I mean, it's very simple. It's just searching the race of that particular character and spawning an actor, client side only by the way, of that race. But then is not caring about items or anything else, right? So it's not customizing the character in any way. Find character class, cast to character class, and spawn actor. So this piece, which we can, I mean, including this one, right? Yeah, including this other stuff. All of this, is is find the proper race mesh and spawn a client side naked. Okay, so there is just that. Now what we need to do after that, this is okay, I mean it's something that we have to do anyway, but after this we need to request to the server to load all our items. So I think we need to have a function which will just request the equipment, but we will not request all the equipment like the stuff that we have in our inventory, but only the stuff that is actually on the character. So the stuff that is actually like sword and shield and helm and such. So to do that, we need to create a method. On. I have the server open. Is it better to do it on PS character or is it better to do it on plane shift controller? I think we can do it on plane shift controller, because anyway this is only client side, is not broadcasted to anyone, right? Okay, so we need to add a new method somewhere here in our plane shift controller base, and I'm just thinking if we have this method already, because actually the old client was doing that already. I think was already requesting the equipment to the server, right? For sure. Now where is that in the old client? Good question. Very good question. I think it should be inside character selection. So we go to the screen. There is a char pick. I think char pick is the selection screen. And when you see a white background is the old code. When you see a black background like this is the Unreal Engine code. Okay. So now I'm looking at white background. I'm looking at the old plane shift code, which was done on another engine, and is the one that we are porting. Okay, just for your information. And so what I'm looking at, I want to see if the old code was asking character picker. It says incoming message, the character description of the demon is just the character name, the factory of the mesh. Getting request to connect, blah blah blah. Get like so here is searching for the name, get character name, set the name of the character in the right button, blah blah blah, store the character data. He's storing also the equipment, huh? You see? So there is some equipment going on. So he's probably receiving the equipment already when he receives the character list, which is not a bad idea. Which is not a bad idea, because otherwise every time you click on the character it will request it again and again and again. Yeah, this is a kind of an optimization that we can do, because otherwise every time you click I will request the equipment while it can just be sent, because it's not gonna change anyway. You're not logged in with that character, so it's not gonna change meanwhile, right? It's not gonna change meanwhile. The only issue we have is that all our code is made to equip items on a living character. So, or I put it on a temporary array of some kind. I can do it. So I will need to have an array of this stuff. I need to know the slot, if it's a shield or not, equip mesh, and equip texture. These are the 4 things I need to know. And I need to have an array of this, which is kept together with my character. And then when he clicks on it, we just call this function once for each of those items, and then the character will look okay. That is for the equipment. It's not for the traits yet, but it's for the equipment at least. Okay, I think we can do it like this. I prefer it more than just when you click is going to ask for the equipment information. I think it's better if we preload it when we get the character list. It's much better. So we hit the server less. We definitely hit it less. So how do we do it? We need an array of these 4 thingies. So we need to see in our code today, when we are calling the loading screen and the character selection, so there is a character selection, character creation widget, this one. Yeah, which by the way is the same one. Yeah. Obviously. So in this drop down, this is where we are selecting the character. And I think we are receiving this list. Let me see where we are receiving this list. Event construct, set focus and store the reference, blah 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 blah. Find a new location and store it. Request the character list. There it is. Request character list. So this is the thingy. Is in pre-game helper. So in pre-game helper, let's go and check. Pre-game helper. There is a request character list, right? Request character list, and it is calling this thing. Server character list implementation, populate character list, which is calling this. This is very old code. I think that it is very old code. I think we can do it differently, but it's fine. Yeah, it's searching for the character itself. Is adding this to the character list. I don't understand too much why we have these 2 functions, but there is probably a reason. Let me see if there is any documentation on that. Request character list. This function can be called by a character select widget to request a new character list. Once the list has arrived, it will call character list as changed on the widget. Really? How can it do this server side? And then there is request character. This function can be used to request the player controller be given a specific character. Okay, so this is really, I mean, it's a bit more than request character. This is really when you are loading in, I guess, right? Just trying to understand what it's doing, but obtain the current spawn point, and then is spawning the player actor in the game. Yeah. This is really, I mean, this is really when it's already spawning the guy. So we don't need this function. We need the previous function. I'm very interested to know how we can actually populate the widget. Because here we are server side for sure, right? Here we are server side for sure because the request character list has to go server side. EU makes this function, we don't implement it in the CPP file. This was the other way to do it. Okay. Yeah, I remember at the beginning we were using RPC slightly differently, and so we were doing this implementation and validate and all this stuff that then I don't do anymore. So I just do the call between client and server on the blueprint, and it's much easier. I mean, it's much easier because you don't have to write these like empty functions, you know, just for nothing. So, but here he was doing it this way. So I think that this one is actually calling this function then, which is calling this one. The only problem is that I think that this is running server side. Well, for sure it's running server side because it's connecting to the database. So it's connected to the database. It's doing this, character list empty, clear the list. Okay, how does he notify the client? I don't understand. How does he notify the client? This is just an array, so I don't see any notification to the client here, right? It's just adding to an array, which is a character list array. By the way, I don't even know if it's replicated. I hope it's replicated, otherwise it will never work. Yes, it's replicated. It's replicated using on rep chart list change. Okay, it's done in a very weird way, but it's fine. I mean, it was much easier to just call, you know, through blueprints the server and ask to do this job, but it's okay. Maybe the difference is that here we don't have a player yet, so we cannot really go through the player controller for replication. That's probably is the reason why. I think so. That's probably the reason why, because we don't have a player controller yet. Okay, anyway, is requesting this. The point is that it's just going directly here. If length is not 0, we already have a list. If nothing was changed, we will get another notifier. So we got this function manually add something. Okay. Why if I click here it doesn't go anywhere? Char select list has changed. Set up a blueprint developmental event here to be called from the pregame helper in the char select blueprint. We can implement this event to launch our UI update. What the fuck? I mean, char select widget. Char select is changed. This method doesn't exist. I didn't do this piece, and so that's why I don't understand how it works. But you know, scrolling character. So basically, I would like to understand this scrolling character. So scrolling characters. So I see event character select list has changed. Okay. I still don't get how it gets populated, but okay, fine. I mean, I think we can assume that it gets populated somehow. I mean, it seems that it gets populated by this part of the code, but I'm surprised because is I don't get how. Do you get it? I don't get it. I don't get how this. So this is going server side, okay? It's requesting the character list that for some reason replication happens because that variable we decided is a replicated variable. So that variable goes server to client at a certain point, whatever is the point, but is asynchronous. So it may take 1 second, like 1 year. But anyway, let's say after some time, that variable is actually synchronized. So it's the character list is synchronized, and there is an array of character list structures, okay, which I guess is something that we declared, yes, here on our side. Okay. So this is the one that we have to change if we want to add the equipment, okay? That is the one that we need to change. So after this happens, since the stuff is replicated, this function is getting called, which I guess is a standard event, you know. So this thing has changed. I think is a standard event. Character select list has changed. Is this one, huh? This one is that one, huh? So it's calling this immediately, but I mean, if the replication didn't happen yet, then what happens? You know, so how do you know that has been, because it seems that we are calling this method ourselves. Can I change the name and see if it changes on the other side? I want to change the name of this. Can I do it? No, I cannot. Is there a fun? Is declared here? No. Is it because we have? Is it because we have this replication on change? On rep list are change, so we have. I don't know, it's very confusing, but anyway, it's working. I don't know how it works, but it is working. Okay, so somehow it's working. So this thing is getting called by someone, not by us, when the thing is changed, and then we just loop, and then now it's easy. I mean, we just add it to the list, and we show, and blah blah blah. So the thing that we need to do if we want to preload also the equipment is just to add to this function, no, to this structure actually, to this f character list structure also the equipment, so that we have this information here. Okay. To add the equipment though, we need to be sure that we create a structure like I was saying before, which is this one: slot, shield, equipment, texture. And then later on we may add also the traits, because I think we will also have traits involved. So let's do this. This will have to be a structure of structure. I think it's fine. Can I have an array? Can I have a structure with an array of structures in it? Yes, an example is here. Well, it's not a structure, but anyway, I think it should work okay. So I replicate this, and I call it f character list equipment struct, right? So we remember that it's basically used in the same context, but it's something different. And here, what I want to have, I want to have a slot. We can be an int, yes. I want to have a boolean, if it's a shield or not. I want to have an equip mesh and an equip texture. Now, the equip mesh, equip texture, yeah, I think this is all stuff that we gather from the server, so I think it's fine. Yes, I think it's fine. It's fine. So we want to have an equip mesh, and we want to have an equip texture. Okay. And we will obviously initialize this thing, and you will have slot and blah blah blah. It is initialization. Okay. Slot can be 0. If it's 0, its shield can be false, and keep mesh can be empty, and keep texture can be empty as well. Okay. Now it is cool, but now we need to have an array of this inside our character list structure. So I will need to add here another U property, which contains the visible equipment, right? Visible meaning that we are passing on only the one that we want to show on screen, and this one will be a T array of this, and it will be a T array of this, and it will be called equipment, and that's it, nothing else. I don't like the fact that it is putting this space after U property. Okay, and by default it will be empty, so I don't know if I have to initialize it, but if I have to initialize it, it will be equipment. Can I initialize it like this? I don't want to initialize it. Let me just quit this because I don't want to do a hot reload thingy. Okay, let's recompile and see. So now this is only the structure that we hold the data. Now we need to populate that with the actual items that are coming from the server. But I think it's pretty easy because we have the functions already. We just need to, I think it should be fairly easy. While it's recompiling, let me see the old code what it was doing. The old code was getting, as we said, this information directly inside the message. So the equipment was part of this PS out approve message. So we should check who is creating this message. Server side. So I have to do entire solution because I have no idea where it is in the old code. It's 1 million lines, so you know. Okay, is here. Add character. Equipment is a string. I think in the old way we didn't have. And there are also the traits. You're saying the traits is nothing we're gonna add. Just want to see. You should be building this somewhere. I think it's here. Construct message, send approval message, actually let's get value count, send out the character list, character quick load character, append character selected data. Is this function doing it? Is this function? Yeah, it's taking the equipment, it is making an equipment string. Okay, so all of this we don't need anymore. All this is bullshit for us. Yeah, it's making this thing. Do we have it in the new code? I think maybe we even have it in the new code, but we don't need it. It should be removed. This function we should never call. Yeah, unfortunately we have it. We have it, but we will never use it. This should be removed. You know what? I think I will comment it out saying you fix me to check if it's okay to be removed. We don't use XML anymore because actually our old server was working obviously without RPC, or anyway we had our own RPC, and our own RPC was basically passing strings for the most part through the code. So I mean between client and server, and I don't think that's needed anymore. I mean, I'm sure that's not needed anymore because we have RPC now, but there is still a lot, you know, like, and we need to check. Oh, by the way, it compiled. Wow, it compiled okay. But let's remove this. I think it will be calls. Yeah, probably there are some calls to this, but I think also the calls to this has to be removed. Yeah, like append, character select data. Also, all this stuff is not needed anymore. Can't remove. Well, actually, we need to redo this. You know, maybe we can use the same function and call the same. Let me see. And just change the code, but this append character select data should not create an XML anymore, but should just create that array that we just declared and send it back through RPC. Is what it should do. Didn't find it. Okay. For sure someone is calling it. No? Okay, no one is calling it in our code. The reason is that probably we didn't import that piece of code. Yeah, which is this one, which is inside authentication server. This authentication server we didn't import yet, so This part is not. Okay, let's delete it. I mean, let's not port stuff that is not needed. So so let me remove this as well, and let me then remove this as well. Maybe I can put this comment here. For now, I'm not really removing it. I'm just commenting it out, but because I just want to have this part working, and then when this part is working, we can actually delete it, okay? But the point is that we don't need it. Boys, how's going on your side? You're very quiet today, huh? I don't hear a lot of people speaking. Maybe there are not a lot of people watching, but it's dinner time, huh? I know. Maybe I should do dinner as well. I can't do dinner. Yeah, I think I can do dinner. Okay, actually, I think I will go dinner, but we will continue this. Maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow, but we will continue this. I think we did a good work today. Was not exactly what I was expecting to do, because the stream was called Character Creation Improvements, but at the end we ended up doing more of an equipment kind of thing. But it's fine. I mean, it was a prerequisite to what we did, so I think it's okay. So I think I will close the stream now, go to dinner. It's anyway way past 8 p.m. and we had a good streaming session. I think I streamed like 4 hours or so. So it's okay. The next step will be, so let me see our mission, because we created a mission, right? We created a mission. Yeah, this is our mission. The problem of this mission is that we had some prerequisites, right? We had some prerequisites, which was to reorganize yeah, well, reorganize a keep function, or let's say improve a keep function let's say make a keep function compatible with new naming convention of assets, of character assets. So that's a bit of the point. Yes. So there is the point, and it is what we did. Okay, so I think that this point is done. This point is done. Make the key function compatible with a new naming convention of character asset, I think is done. Now, display equipment actually goes through a number of sub-steps, but I'm not going to mention it. But the one that we are doing now, so at the moment we are inside of this, okay? We are inside display equipment, and we are trying to have our character properly displaying the equipment that he has. So yeah, okay. So I think we can save our mission, and at least we did step 1, and we're gonna do step 2 and step 3 very, very soon. With that said, I think we can close the stream. You can keep in touch with me on Discord or on Twitch or wherever you want. We are always around. And if you want to contribute to develop the game, let me know. Because anyway, I mean, there's a lot to do, and so if someone wants to help, it's always nice. So thank you for watching. I will stream again probably tomorrow. Well, for sure tomorrow. I don't think if I will stream again tonight. I think tonight we'll do something else, but tomorrow I think I can stream again. I'm still in holiday also tomorrow, so I think I can stream during the day. See you, boys, next time.